You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 128. Today is January 18, 2025. And before I introduce my guest, remind you guys about the hotline, 818-806-8595. You guys can call anonymous, leave a voice message, and I will use your audio and plug it into a future episode. It could be a question for me, for a past guest, and if it's for a past guest, then I can always get a hold of them and say, hey, dude, this guy has a question for you, and then go from there. In fact, today, it's funny because I went to the gym. Before I continue, I went to the gym today, and as I'm on the bicycle, I was looking at one of the ads on the TV, and I'm yelling through across the room of the gym, babe, look at TV number 8. And she looks up. That guy was on my podcast. Yeah, you could say
interesting.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Yeah. So I'm like, babe, that guy was on my podcast, and she saw the excitement in my face. I reached out to him and I said, hey, dude, I just saw you on TV. And he's like, really? I didn't even know. Maybe I should charge some more.
That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. The point is that I can get a hold of my my past guests. For example, this guy was on episode. There is a town called Kalamazoo. Okay. There's in Wisconsin, I guess. But again, guys, IG is Ride With Me Podcast, and TikTok and YouTube are both FTA Podcast. And then if you're listening you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Please hit that follow, rate the podcast if there's something that I say that you like, rate it. And then on Spotify, hit that follow, and so on and so on. And then again, guys, the sponsor, I've been saying it multiple times. This sponsor is not someone that Spotify gave me for having you listeners. It is someone that I've met in person, and check out his Instagram page is LABRANDPERLA, and then I believe it's www.perlabrand.com, is it?
PER-LA.com.
So that tells you guys that my guest here is the founder of Perla. Irving, yes. Right?
Irving, okay. Correct.
Irving. I want to call you Irvine and Irving.
I've been called, I honestly answer to, I have this guy that has been calling me Irvine for 4 months.
Yeah.
I do work with, and I just always, I haven't corrected him.
You've accepted it.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
So, back in the day when we were kids, we were told not to meet anybody off the internet. Oh. Don't get in people's cars off the internet. And apparently we do that nowadays. A couple weeks ago, about a month ago, maybe?
A little over a month.
About a month ago, Irving reached out to me on Instagram because he saw the description on my podcast, and he said, "Hey, dude, I'm actually local. You're
correct.
We're literally neighbors."
Yeah.
And I was, oh no shit, what's up? He offered to give me some merch, and I'm the kind of person that I would rather earn it.
I remember that. Yeah.
Than take it. And I think after plugging his brand for a past month already, I've earned it. He brought us some
100%,
gifts.
yeah.
He brought us some gifts today. Anyways, so I was like, hey, dude, I'm actually going to go to the mall. And we're going to meet in the mall in a public area.
Right. To be safe.
And he tells me, I'm actually over here at a dealership. And I'm like, oh, dude, then you know what, dude? I mean, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
And so I went and met him in person. And like I said, back in the days, you don't meet people off the internet.
No.
You know?
I was texting at the time I was texting my girl. I was like, yo, I'm about to meet this guy that I just met on the internet. I was like, but I had already spoken to you for a while on the phone, right? Yeah, so I felt really comfortable about that. And I really liked what you were doing. I think that was the first thing I reached out to you. And I was like, yo, I like what you're doing with your podcast.
Yeah.
I could relate a lot. And then we talked about the sponsorship. Like giving you some stuff. And you were like, I wouldn't be able to take it without, you like either plugging it in before or being, and then we talked about being on an episode.
Yeah.
This was a couple weeks back.
Now we're here. So here he is in my home, and he met my boys, and he brought his, I don't like Teslas, but yours is pretty cool. Because he had the DeLorean type doors. I'm like, holy shit, DeLorean, a future DeLorean. But bro, how's the air quality where you live at?
It's not crazy bad like in LA because I'm like 210. I'm north.
Yeah.
But you can still. I mean, a few days ago I can still smell the smoke. It was pretty bad, but I haven't gotten any. I mean, I get the air quality, like what's that called? That notification or whatever. Yeah. That's like they're extending it, but it doesn't. I don't really smell or like tell the difference. I guess.
So obviously everyone knows California is burning the fuck down.
Unfortunately, yeah.
F-bomb number 1, and it is pretty bad. I went to work. Obviously, we're still going to work. My brother reached out to me. He's like, dude, why do they have you guys working? I'm like, well, it's not affecting us. He's like, dude, who the fuck's drinking beer right now? F-bomb number 2. Who the heck is drinking beer right now? And so we reached out to our boss the other day, and he was, hey, man, we need some N95s. Because where I work at, the smoke wasn't that bad on, was it Tuesday when the wind started? It was blowing towards the north, so we really didn't have the smell.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And what do you call it? So he came out and he brought us masks, and some of the guys were a lot closer. They work a lot closer. They work in Pasadena.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the guys sent a picture. If he would have parked at a certain parking spot, the tree would have fallen on his car.
Oh wow!
And it was pretty bad. And it's fucking crazy. What pisses me off is that I mean, again, this is a perfect timing for you guys to hit the hotline to fact check me.
Correct.
I'm only going based on things that I have heard and seen on the internet or Facebook or the news. So apparently, funding for the firefighters was cut to help clean up the homeless crisis in LA.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, that now they were trying to interview the I think the mayor. I'm not sure her name is.
She was like out of the country, out of the state when this was happening. So.
And they were trying to interview her. Hey, well, didn't you just cut the funding? What do you got to tell the people of LA? She had nothing to say, bro. She had nothing to say. They're drilling her for like a minute. She says nothing.
I didn't know that. I really didn't know she had cut funding.
And then I was talking to my boss, and he's like, I'm like, why don't they have? I mean, Palisades is literally right there by the ocean. Why is it that we're not using?
Ironic is that?
Right? Why is it that we're not using the water? Now, again, I don't know why we're not using ocean water.
Are we allowed to use ocean water? Isn't that salt water?
I don't know. That's why I want someone to fact check me. Call the number 818-806-8595. Fact check me. And
that's the biggest fire, right? That's
yes.
like the one that can't contain.
This
I think
is the
yesterday
one. That's fine.
A couple of days ago, I saw that it was contained like 6 or 8%.
That was. And
I was like, that's terrible. And I know there's firefighters coming in from
elsewhere,
right?
So this is the part that tripped me out. I saw a video that one of my buddies sent me, and it was those planes that are actually flying into the ocean, like above the ocean water,
correct,
scooping up water. They call them like super tankers. And
they pick up water,
water, and they pour it over the thing. Apparently, we're using those. We're renting those from Canada.
Oh wow!
Again,
we don't have those.
That's what I was telling my boss. I'm like, why is it that we don't have those type of helicopters?
So that
those
tax
planes?
Money we pay, we don't have.
Thank you. The water ran dry on the fire hydrants. They ran dry.
Wow!
They didn't know where the reservoirs were turned off. When they turned off the power. They turned off the pumps.
Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
No, okay. But no generators?
Ah.
Exactly.
That's I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
From what I'm hearing is that the Mexico came to help us.
Yeah.
Canada came to help us.
And other states, like Vegas firefighters, like all the surrounding states, I think.
But those super tankers, we rent them from Canada. What we are known for having wildfires forever. In the past 42 years that I've been alive in this country, in California,
I honestly,
we've had a fire every single time. So,
but not this big though.
Not this big.
It has never been like this.
No, not this big.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? So why don't we have these planes? And then some pendejo was flying his drone over the fires, and one of those super tankers hit it. So now, not only are we renting these planes from Canada,
but we're fucking them up.
Now we have, now we have to repair it.
We got some interesting people out there.
That's what it is. So, I want to give a shout out to Melissa from host of the Hot Moms podcast.
Okay,
because she reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you guys okay? Do you need anything?" I'm like, I mean, besides my brother Angel, my brother Danny that reached out, my sister in Chicago reached out. But the fact that people that I've met through podcasting and on TikTok. She's like, "Do you need anything? Let me know if you need anything." And I was honestly, it did not reach. If these mountains behind us would have caught on fire, based on what Palisades happened, we'd be gone.
Right, with the winds.
The winds, but luckily, no, we're okay. Flat Tire Andy Podcast and his family are okay, are fine.
Now that you bring that up, it's funny because I think you and I were texting and like a couple of days ago, and you called me like really early,
right?
Like because you go to work early, right? Super early,
dude. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Bro.
Okay, so this was like 4 something a.m. And
my bad.
no, that's all good. I'm not worried about it. I'm up early too. I'm not that early, but I remember I think I had texted you or you had texted me. I was dealing with something, but you called me, and I literally thought you called to check up on me. Like I was like, I wonder if he's checking up on me to see if I'm fine because of the fires, you know. But it was about the whole like meeting up thing. I realized that afterwards. But in my head, I really thought that. I was like, oh, nice. He's checking
I should have. Hey man, I did call you for that.
I really thought that.
So you said you did some work up there in Altadena.
Yeah, you brought up Pasadena, and I had a job in Altadena, and I would probably say 95% of it was complete. With the flooring company, that I have, and I was scheduled to go back on a Thursday, I think it was, Thursday, and I get a text like that morning, like we lost the Glass Flores house, which is the address.
Oh man!
And I was like, what? And the person I was dealing with texted me like the land, and it was gone.
Oh shit!
Like I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna deal with that because it's first time for me. So I hopped on the phone with my brother and I was asking him, like, I don't know what to do. I also don't want to like reach out to them right away. Like, hey, you guys, we have an open invoice. Like, because like this just happened. Like it just happened. Like, so I'm like, I'm gonna let them deal with it. And the owners are actually from Canada.
Oh, okay.
So the people that own that property, they're from Canada. Yeah, they were building it to move out here to get away from the cold. But then I'm like, that's terrible. To like
my understanding, I just found this out recently, is that Palm Springs during winter, they get a lot of tourists from Canada. I just heard that recently. I don't know. Again,
that actually makes sense though.
Somebody fact check me and call the hotline, please. I'm begging you to call the hotline.
That actually makes sense. That would make sense.
I just learned that. Oh,
that's their summer. Our winter is their summer.
I had a young lady in the podcast a few months ago, and I think she's the one because she lives in Palm Springs, so I believe she's the one that told me that. So, but somebody fact check me, please. I'm desperately want you guys to call the hotline, please. I'm begging, man. I'm asking. I'm begging. Anyways, because the hotline is it's a real quick. The hotline is if you have an Android or Google, you can create a Google Voice app.
Right. Okay.
Texting is free. Voice messages are free. If you want to make phone calls, then you have to pay like $10 for whatever, however many minutes.
In your same, like, so you have another number in your phone.
Yeah. So I have like a texting.
If you have like
app.
An Android.
Yeah. Okay. I have a texting app. I think iPhones can get it too.
Okay.
And so if I don't use that, I would lose it. So somebody please fact check me, man. Did we really land on the moon? I think we did. If we didn't, somebody call me. Anyways, but enough about these fires, dude. It's sad what's going on.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it's horrible. We do smell it here where I live at. It was pretty bad. It was I think like Thursday, and I was driving towards Temple City, and I had to call the boss. Hey, we need masks because I'm one city over, and it got worse. And even right now in here,
can you see ashes and stuff or no?
I saw them. I was talking to my boss that day, and you can see them kind of like starting to fall. And then one of the guys who works in Pasadena or Alhambra, his car was covered in ash. He sent a picture, and his windshield was covered in ash. And I'm getting tired of the smell of. You know what? The smell of the fire is actually like a childhood memory because of all the times we've gone camping.
Okay.
But not this much.
Like bonfire.
Yeah, but not this much. So that's why I turned on the instant, man. So we wouldn't have a smell of forest fire in here. But it's a sad situation. I honestly, I hate to sound like an asshole. I do not feel bad for celebrities because they can rebuild.
Okay.
But people that got their insurance canceled like 2 weeks before the fire happened,
I heard something like that. I heard something that the insurance will only cover whatever they owed on the property, which doesn't make sense. But I guess it also does make sense because like they don't have anything to value. Like there's no equity really anymore. There's no property. So usually you would cover the entire value of the property.
Exactly.
But the insurance is only covering what you owed on the house. Like that's only, it's terrible.
It's
like
it's horrible.
Does not make sense.
Like I said, I don't feel bad for celebrities that lost their house because they can rebuild it today. They can like, whoop, done, it's back. Tom Hanks, dude, everything around his house burned except for his house. But you can see he grows a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. Like, okay. And so I'm sure he had his sprinklers running 24/7.
Or I wonder if it was like fireproof or something.
I don't probably. Right. But I feel bad for all the people that lost their home that are typical average Joes like you and I.
Correct.
But yeah, celebrities, you can rebuild, man. You can rebuild, man. I don't feel sorry for you. If I get canceled today, then I'm just glad to know you and your last podcast guest. We'll see. But anyways, buddy, enough about fires, enough about this sad bullshit situation we got going on. Your brand, bro.
Yes.
How did you get into this brand? What got you started? What gave you the idea? And
okay. So I mentioned my brother and I run a flooring company, right? And a demolition company. So I've been doing that my entire life, like construction. I've always wanted to be in the fashion industry. I've always saw myself doing something in the fashion industry.
You know what? I wanted to tell you something the day I met you. I see it in your hair. Just the way you do your hair is like a fashion statement right there.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so I've always, growing up, since I was little, my mom says that even when I was like 3 years old, very little, like I would put my outfit together. I never wanted her to dress me. So it's like who I am, right?
So one day you went to school with a plunger on your head? Hell yeah, Mom, I got this.
So to fast forward, the name comes from, because I'm from Peru, okay? And I grew up in LA. So Perla is Peru and LA combined. That's the name. So it's very organic. It's very me. It's not just like a name that I thought about and it just, came up with it, obviously. So that's, for me, it means a lot. And not only that, but it's not just being Peruvian. It's just like being Latino, right? So being able to, being Latino is like such a cool thing now, right? But it's because of the music industry. It's, people have brought that up, like the culture, but not in the fashion industry. So you have all these big brands, like, right, from Europe, from Italy, whatever. Not that like I can compare myself to those brands, but like I said, it's organically. I always wanted to do it.
Real quick. If a company can put one word on their shirts and shoes and become billionaires,
correct.
You're already working on that.
Okay, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And I also enjoy it. So it's like you with the podcast, right? Ever since I started the brand, I've been happier. I feel like I wake up excited. It's just a new journey for me, right? So that kind of tells me that this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do.
Right.
I'm not really doing it like I'm trying to get rich off of it. I do it because I really truly enjoy, like, if I run into you or someone else and they're just like wearing my brand, dude, that's like, to me, that means so much.
Right.
So that's why I do it. I don't do it like because I find myself being super wealthy later on or whatever. Like, it's not really it. Like I said, I enjoy, like, I really like it. Like you really love this, right? So if something comes out of it, great. But if not, like, and I also never somebody told me a while back, like, one of my friend's dad, I said, I want to do my own brand. We were having drinks and, he said,
isn't that when the ideas come up when you're having drinks?
Yes, usually. Yes.
I mean,
you want to do everything when you're drunk. Like, it's just like, I'm going to build this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this.
Dude, that's how the podcast started. Like,
okay.
We're having some drinks at a Christmas party and, my uncle's like, dude, start a podcast. I'm like,
we're here now.
Oh shit, here we are. Almost 5 years later.
That's beautiful. No, that's usually how it is, right? So, like, I told him, I was like, hey, I want to do this. And his answer was like, in Spanish, el cementerio está lleno de escritores, de gente, like, pretty much like, do it like, don't be afraid because you're going to die with the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And it made me think, I was like, wow, that's so true. Like, there's so many people that have so many great things they want to do, and it goes to waste. Like, they never get it done.
Right.
So, yeah, I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to get my shit together. Landed a few nice little jobs that can sustain, like, what I do, and then put my time, effort, energy in towards building this brand. So,
right.
It's like I said, it's organic. It's what I've always wanted to do, and I'm just happier.
Well, when I can see the smile on your face when you handed us over the sweaters, and when I say like handed us, my boys came out to say hello, and you handed them a sweater, just a smile on your face and how proud you are of your brand.
I appreciate that.
So
I appreciate you noticing that, though. By the way.
I'm in sales, bro. I'm supposed to notice everything.
Okay.
I'm in sales, bro. I gotta notice everything, and I noticed that. I noticed even you explaining. To me, it's like, okay, you're just handing the sweaters, but you explaining the material and everything. I was like,
yeah. Oh, when I gave you the sweater, I was talking about cotton thread and all that stuff. I've done some research, and my stuff, honestly, I've gotten some really good reviews. Like, I've gotten some really good feedback.
Yeah. Like,
oh wow, like I just recently met up with some girl I met online.
Yeah. Is that the one you posted a story?
Yeah. So I just met her like for the first time.
Yeah.
We talked back and forth or whatever, and she was like, "Hey, I'm going to Disneyland. Like, I would love to rock this hoodie before I go." And I was like, yeah, for sure. But it isn't just like the design, or it isn't just the name. Like, it's actually the quality, right? So I gave it to her, and to be honest, this is what happened. She, like, I handed it to her, and she started looking at it, and she was like, because she does reviews for brands.
Right.
And then she was like, yo, this is like really good quality. Like just came out of her, right? And she was like, are you recording this? She's like, you should be recording this because I'm being real about like this is like my instinct response to like your stuff. Right. I felt it and I was like, wow, this is great. So, so then it's just like, it's good stuff. Like, I wouldn't sell something or put something out there that I wouldn't wear. And I'm not saying this myself, but I've been told a lot that I have really good style. And just like forever, like when I go out, it's just always like, I get a lot of compliments on my outfits and what I wear. So I wouldn't put something out that I wouldn't wear. Right. Yeah, no, and like I said, I see the passion, I see it behind. Like I said, just your smile alone, and you explaining to us that they're just sweaters, bro. But no, you explaining them. This is like, I have sweatpants too. It's not just hoodies, sweatpants, t-shirts. Like it's a little bit of everything. Yeah, and I hope to like I can grow into getting into like denim. That's a little more requires a little bit more investment. Yeah, like denim and things like that. But I'm just starting, so we'll see where.
Well, after meeting you, I was like, man, why can't I just something simple like hats with the podcast logo on it?
I think we talked about that.
It's like, how come I haven't done it? And it's like, honestly, that's just me. I wouldn't want to charge. Like, I would like to do, okay, here we go again. Whoever calls the hotline right now and gives a secret word, I will send you a free hat. You know what I mean?
I like that.
But it's like, because I have a guy that won't charge a lot to embroider.
Yeah, I think you told me that. Yeah.
So, I think it's like, he'll charge me like $40 to create the logo. Okay. And then like just $5 to embroider it. Like the work is only like $5. So I'm like,
the actual labor.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, I've been thinking about it lately. I even went on Amazon. I found like a link that has like 30 hats for only so much. Yeah. $29.
Yeah, like a quantity order, like a big quantity order. Yeah.
And then, but for me, I like the fitted hats. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to get me my fitted hat. And then I'm thinking about it. You gave me the idea.
You can definitely get it done for like a sample for one hat. Probably pay a little bit more. Exactly. See how you like it. And then after that, you can do like order of 30. I actually had someone, now that you bring that up, message me a few days ago and just random, right? He was like, hey, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, I'm starting a brand. Yeah. I was like, okay. He's like, do you have any tips for me? Like, is there anything I can do? And I'm like, dude, I'm starting a brand. Like, I just started this. So I don't know. Like, I can't really help you, but like, I'm not an expert, but if anything, you want to know. So he was asking me about minimal quantity, like how can I order? How can I get my shirts printed? I know a few spots, but I'm not like I was just telling him like I'm just like you, like I'm starting as well. So he was like, I asked my barber, and I guess we share the same barber, and my barber told him like, hit him up, like he's starting a brand and he might be able to help you out. So
I like wearing only because what I've been doing for a living for the past 11 years that I like wearing polos.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I put the logo, it's gonna be on a polo. It's gonna be the podcast logo on a polo. I don't know about I took a shirt to the mall to have them plaster something on it.
Okay.
Such shitty quality, man. I'm like, F this. I'm never coming here again.
Really?
Yeah.
At the West Covina Mall?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hashtag not an ad for West Covina Mall.
I was going to say, let's not say where at exactly, but I don't really go to the West Covina Mall. Actually, I don't go to the mall a lot either. I shop online, and now I just wear my brand all the time. So it's like, I saw a video, some guy, he's a big TikToker, and he was just like giving some other guy shit because he was telling him like, what do you do, whatever. And the guy was like, oh, I have a clothing brand. And he said, let me ask you, like, are you wearing anything that's yours? And he's like, no. He's like, why not? You should be the first person wearing your stuff. You believe in it.
Yeah.
And you should always have your stuff with you. Like, I don't know if you saw in my car, but I always carry my stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Run into somebody that I like the way I like how they're dressed or whatever. I'm just like, yo, like, you know, like just promoting. Like, it's a very natural, it's not like anything that I'm doing I'm not really promoting online, but, I'm really good with people. Like, so I do it like that.
And when I met you, I believe I told you, my dude, you're actually going negative because you're giving your merchandise away.
Yeah.
But that's what you said. You told me like, I want the awareness and
brand awareness.
Yeah. And then I'll focus on making money after that. I'm like, so that, like I said, you gave me the idea. I'm like, I'll just start off with some hats, bro. Fuck it. Just some hats. And
you have like a logo in mind or a design?
No, the podcast logo.
Okay.
The podcast logo.
Okay.
Just a
so it'd be like your podcast.
The tire and which
is a really cool logo. Yeah. It'll be your podcast like
AI, bro. AI.
Oh, wow.
The old. Have you seen the old logo? Little wheel.
The previous post that you have.
Yeah. I told my wife, hey, so my brother suggested that I create a new logo, and she was like, you know, I was going to tell you that your old logo sucks. Really? You tell me this 3 years later?
Now?
Yeah. And honestly, I'm like, but I handmade that logo myself. You know, I go on AI.
There's value on it.
I go on AI, and I'm like, oh.
Wait, how did you get that logo done? The
old one?
Canva? No, the new one.
I'm not sure what app I used.
Okay,
because on the internet.
I've used Canva before. And
I don't know
they
what.
They do really good stuff.
I just typed in podcast, logo,
AI.
theme. Title, blah 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 blah, and it gave me that one. It gave me multiple options, and my wife really liked the one that I'm using now.
I do, me too.
It's so nice. My brother said the same thing, and so I'm all right. I'm going with this one then, and so just pretty much the name and like an outline of the tire, just pretty much the Flat Tire Annie podcast. And then the little outline of the tire, and then call it a day. Nothing crazy, and like even there's like these little blue lines in between it, whatever. I don't even want those. Just the name. So I'll get the courage to go do it. But let me know when you do. We can go. We can do like content or something. Yeah, do the like I said. You gave me the idea. I'm like, I should, and I've been just sitting on it, and I was like,
if you've been thinking about it for a while, you should just.
I should just do it. Yeah, I should just
for
do
sure.
It. So and you know what? The funny thing is that I work nearby that warehouse.
Okay.
All I gotta do is swing by on my lunch and say, "Hey, dude, can you make this logo, please?"
You don't have to go out of your way or anything.
No, I literally like I have an account that's like literally like down the street from there. I'm like, literally, I can walk over there. But anyways,
you should probably put a little bit of effort into doing that.
Yeah, I really gotta do it, man. But anything else about your brand? Websites?
No, I think we've covered, as far as the brand goes, we've covered the name, where it comes from, who I am, as you know, how organic it is, how I can relate to it. Being Latino is huge, you know, for me. Putting it on the map, being in fashion and being Latino, I don't think it's something people I don't see often.
Right.
You know, so I hope that it just from now on, I'm just hoping that all the hard work that I'm putting on and that I'm continue to, that just pays off. That's it.
All right. We want to shout out your I've been saying LABRANDPERLA. It's LABRANDPERLA.
Yeah, the IG.
You want to shout out your website?
LABRANDPERLA. And I don't have a TikTok for it just yet because I'm trying to get approved. You have to go through a process. But the website is www.per-la.com.
So go, like I've been saying for the past few episodes, go check them out, guys. You want to take a quick little water break?
Let's do it.
All right.
Hey, this is Irving Gomringer, founder of Perla. Perla represents my journey. Born in Peru, raised in LA. The name itself combines the two places that shape me. My brand is all about blending streetwear with simplicity and luxury, something LA is known for, with high-quality garments for those who value style and substance. My vision is to amplify Latino voices in that industry. By rocking with the brand, not only are you making your look stand out, but you're also helping me and all Latinos to be represented and celebrated. So if you're ready to elevate your fit and rep the culture, check out my website at www.per-la.com and on Instagram at LABRANDPERLA. Thanks for supporting Perla and being part of the movement. 10% of the profit will be donated to Action Against Hunger. Thank you.
And we're back. Again, guys, that promo that was just played, he's sitting on the couch right now. He's right here, guys.
I'm here, yeah.
He's right here. So, you said that, again, real quick, you said that you were born in Peru.
I was, yeah.
So, what got you out here, man?
Not by choice, but...
So are you saying you would rather be in Peru right now?
No, hell no. I went back last year. I mean, it's a beautiful country. I don't know if you've ever had Peruvian food. It's great food. If you ever get a chance, or if we ever get a chance, we should try it out. You'll love it. If you like seafood, I don't know, I'm not sure. We're known for a lot of things, but gastronomy in Peru is huge. It's the number one destination in the world.
Okay.
If you want to eat really good food. So, I miss the food. I was just there last year. But being there last year and seeing just the difference between here, obviously my family, my cousins, people that I haven't seen in many years, I came back really grateful, like super grateful. On the way back from the airport, I had a long conversation with my father, and I just thanked him, like all his efforts to bring us out here.
Yeah.
Something I probably wouldn't do at 33, go to like a new country, with not knowing anybody, starting from ground zero. But I guess when you're in a situation that you are in, like in being out there, you don't have a choice, right? So it's like you have less thought into it. Like I think of it from my perspective of growing in America, like why the heck would I go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Right. But just like I said, I just being out there made me realize a lot of stuff. I came back way more motivated to do what I like the brand.
Yeah.
And, ideally, I wanted to get it done out there, like manufacture and everything. But it's just, it's not. Maybe I still like plan to do that. But to answer your question, like no, I would not want to be back there at all. It's a different, man. It's a different world, man. Like I'm sure people have been, like a lot of people from Mexico have been to Mexico.
Yeah,
Mexico is actually like a really nice country compared to like Peru.
I mean, the two spots that I've been to, very very nice.
But
country.
there is a lot of. Yeah, there's a lot to give. Peru has a lot to give. I don't want to say anything bad, but where like growing up there would have made. I mean, it just would have been like such a big difference. Like no, I can't even know. But I don't even like.
I think you're speechless for the first time.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of like, dang, like this is. It's. I mean, just being out there, man. I'm telling you, like I came back, had a conversation with my dad on the way back from the airport. He still remembers to this day. He was like drunk not that long ago for New Year's, and he was like, "You're the only person that has recognized what I've done," which was beautiful. He was like, Nobody has ever thanked me for anything. And I have a great relationship with my family. But it was nice to hear that I felt hurt. Like, on the way back from the airport, I was like, hey, I just want to thank you for everything. Like that I see the sacrifices and where we're at now. And I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to leave my kids right now. I'm 30. I'm my age, 33.
Yeah.
I'm 33 now. I wouldn't go to a different country to look for a better. I mean, that's once again, I don't have the need. But even if I did, I think it'd be so hard where I'm just like starting over, leaving my family. Because my father came 1997. We were in Peru for about a year and a half without him. So that was really hard on my older brother because he was really attached to him.
Oh, okay.
He cried a lot and it was really a really hard time. And 1999, my mom brought us here illegally. So
you're the definition of tres veces mojado then, huh?
I guess, yeah. I'm the definition of that, yeah. So they brought me here when I was 7. I actually I believe I turned 7 in Mexico. I had dude, it's crazy. Like, okay, so let's just back up. So, I don't know what was going on, right? I'm 7 years old. I know my father's gone, right? I'm like, okay, I haven't seen him for a while. And my mom always pushed for my dad to come here for a better life. And then she knew we were going to come here for a better life. Okay. She already knew. So, in Peru, they had 2 Peruvian restaurants, but, when I was younger, when I was like a baby, and, you can't really do anything, right? Like it doesn't work out. Like nothing. It's too much violence, too much crime.
Yeah.
Like, it's just nothing works out right.
I have a friend that he's from El Salvador, and he said that based on one of the stories his mom told him was that he was kidnapped at like 6 years old.
Oh wow!
So
well, we kind of were too.
Yeah,
in Mexico.
Oh no shit!
My entire family, yeah. Like so we got. I mean, just to tell you a little bit about the story, how I ended up here, right? Your question was how the hell did I end up in America? My mom had a flight. We flew to Mexico, and that was totally okay. I remember everything, like literally every detail of how it happened. Flew into Mexico. I remember it was raining midnight. It was like pouring. We got pulled over by immigration because we were going into an area that was not designed for us because we were supposed to stay in El DF, but my mom was trying to get a TJ.
Yeah.
Immigration pulls us over. My mom pays him. Like, she literally gave him everything she had.
No shit.
To let us through. She spoke to him in a room. I remember spoke to him in a room, and we got through. Being in TJ, my mom literally has no money, and it's pouring. It's midnight. I remember this. Like, my older brother, and my mom were just standing outside the airport, like not knowing what we were gonna do. My mom has a way with words. Like, her words are, if you ever meet her, you'll be like, wow, she's very powerful with her words, which has made a big impact on me and my brother, my siblings. And this is kind of hard for me to say, but like, I remember that we had nowhere to go, and my mom talked, like, just pulling up a cab driver and convinced them to act like that's her husband, so we can.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's dude, it's like insane. Like, and the guy, she was like, "Look, I have no money." Told him the truth, but my husband's in America, like he's in the States, where he's gonna send me money or whatever. So the guy vouched for us and left his license at a hotel. He was like, "Hey, this is my wife. You know, she lost all her paperwork, whatever." So we had somewhere to stay because he was like, "I can't take you to my house. I have a wife at home, whatever." Right? So we ended up, dude, like the hotel. I remember being in the hotel one night, and the sheets were like super wet. It was just weird. Like, it was like it was humid. It was that's how cold it was.
Yeah,
I don't think they were wet, but they were just like super cold. But we had somewhere to stay, so we're like, whatever. We stayed there one night, and then we were able to get a ride to TJ. Okay, so we traveled to TJ. In TJ, my dad sends his friend, because my dad can't travel, obviously, at the time. My dad sends his friend from here, from LA, down to TJ to give my mom money. Okay?
Okay.
This guy had a drinking problem.
Oh, fuck.
And my dad wasn't aware.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so I remember my mom calling my dad and was like, "Hey, like, how much money did you send? Like, this is, you know, my dad, X amount, whatever." The guy had spent most of the money, dude, like drinking. Like, he didn't show up like 2 days late. Like, it doesn't take that long to get a TJ from LA, right?
No,
like, dude,
it's
like
4 or 5 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Showed like 2 days later.
Oh, fuck.
So he was partying it up probably like in Hong Kong or something. Now that I know what Hong Kong is.
China.
And he was partying it up, showed up, whatever, didn't have enough money. And my mom like I remember my mom like yelled at my dad, just chewing him up. My dad was like, "Wait, I sent this amount, whatever." So anyway, the guy puts us in a home with his friend and his wife and his 2 girls, like daughters. So we're staying at a random place and just living with them for a month because we were trying to find a way to cross over, and my mom knew someone that was gonna do it, but that person wasn't, like, the connection wasn't there, the money wasn't there. My dad was like, "I'm not ready." And we stayed there for a month, but not by choice. I found out later, like, the people were living off my dad's money in TJ. So my dad would send them money, and the guy would tell my dad, like, "Hey, so the guy we were staying with."
So what had happened was, you know, like that, what happened to your money? What had happened was, because they were supposed to go to you guys, right? The money was supposed to go to you guys.
Never did.
That's what I'm saying.
For a month.
So the friend's explanation is, so what happened was,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
So it's like, where the heck is the money? Yeah. What's going on? My mom was getting furious. Like, she was getting frustrated because she's like, hey, we've been in TJ for a month. Like, I celebrated my birthday in TJ. They got mariachis. They bought, like, I remember this. Like, they got me a bunch of stuff.
With your dad's money?
With my dad's money. My mom was like, I don't want a party. I don't want shit. My mom was literally, I want to fucking leave, yo. Yeah. Like, this is, I'm not going to live in TJ. Like, but the people were keeping us there because just a bunch of BS excuses. Like, you know, like, oh, I haven't connected, the connect, whatever. After a month, I remember at probably like, it was like middle of the night. Like, it was like, I don't know, 2, 3 a.m. We snuck out of the house. Fuck. My mom was like, fuck this, we're leaving. Yeah. Before that though, like 2 weeks before that, they had promised my mom to cross the border by herself and we were going to go later. And my mom was gonna do it. I remember I stayed home. I stayed at this house with random people, with my brother, crying, and was like, I had never been separated from my mom. I was like, what,
bro, I don't even like when my kids spend a night with their cousins.
Yeah, and my mom literally was on her way there, and she changed her mind, and she was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
my kids.
I would never leave my kids, like, ever. And she turned back. She turned back, showed up, and she was like, I'm not going without them. Like, we're not gonna cross at different times. Yeah. So within, like, I don't know, a few days after that, we ended up leaving, like I said. So like we stopped. That happens, and a few nights later, my mom gets like I guess like, se le prendió el foco, and she was just like, we snuck out in the middle of the night. Yeah, snuck out. Ended up at this hotel. She connected with the guy who was gonna cross us, and we ended up at a hotel called Tropicana. And the next morning, we showed up like 4 a.m. Like this, I remember because the sun's coming out. We're in the cab. We show up to Tropicana. Funny story. I'll tell you later. The guy.
Well, if it's funny, you got to say it on the podcast.
The guy that crossed us, ended up working for our flooring company.
No like shit.
10 years later. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So that's just like a funny side note. But we ended up at the Tropicana Hotel, and there was like 60, 70 people in like 2 jointed rooms. There's a lot of people in jointed rooms, and all these people are crossing at the same time.
Right.
So we leave early morning. We go in about probably like 8 or 10 town cars, those old Crown like town cars, right?
The Crown Vics, right?
Crown Vics, yeah. We're driving through the desert, right? We're driving through. I remember being I don't know exactly what the location is, but we did come in through Arizona. I will say that. We came in through Arizona because...
Well, real quick side note, that tunnel you came through, they found it.
It wasn't a tunnel, but whatever it is, people are still coming by for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're in cars. I remember being pulled over by like military because they had guns. They were dressed in military.
Oh, shit.
They got paid off. We go through. Yeah. I remember this clearly. I don't know if this is something that I should be saying, but whatever.
This was years ago. It's okay.
Yeah, this was like
those guys probably
20 years ago.
They probably retired already.
Yeah. So I remember being people that were dressed like uniform, big guns, whatever else, and I'm assuming they got paid off because we got pulled over. They let all the cars go through. We end up at this like random abandoned house, like under construction, quote unquote.
Right.
And it's in the middle of nowhere. We were there for, I don't know, a couple hours. My mom found a deck of like tarot reading cards, and she used to do that.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So we were in the bed. There was a bed. There was like a house being like just a normal house under construction. Yeah. Like missing a couple things. Like if it was being worked on. She found a deck of tarot cards, and she did a reading for herself. And this all sounds fake, but I swear to God, it's all true.
I've had tarot cards read to me. Okay. Everything they told me came true, so I believe you. Don't trip.
And she read it to herself, and she was like, it's going to turn out fine. Like, we're going to be okay. We're going to make it through. Like, it's crazy, dude, because, like, she knew everything that was going to go. Yeah. It was just going to work out. And it did. I mean, obviously, like, right? I'm here. But, so then that happened. She reads the cards. We get in a big bus, and like in a huge bus, and it's like a school bus, but it's not. It's like a charter bus. And then that bus takes us to another location where we do walk for about 2 hours. And
2 hours, that's what? Maybe like 6 miles?
Could be more. I don't know.
Yeah. Average walk is like 20 minutes a mile.
Okay.
20, 25.
Yeah, we walked for Actually, I could be wrong.
As a kid, bro,
it felt like 2
forever.
hours.
Yeah.
But it probably wasn't, because now that I think about it, from the time we started walking to the time we hopped in the truck, when we hopped in the truck, it was like late evening. So maybe it was an all-day walk. Yeah. And I just don't remember.
I mean, you go to Disneyland, bro, you do that walk all day.
Okay, so, there you go.
Same shit.
So
if you can go to Disneyland, you can cross the border.
You can cross the border, pretty much. So, you probably walk more at Disneyland. If you go to California Adventure and Disneyland together, yeah. So we crossed, nothing crazy major happened in between the crossing situation, but besides the fact that I need to take a shit. Dude, I really did. And I was just, because I was like so nervous. I was constipated. I was like, what the fuck? And the guy there was a guy in the front walking the group and the guy in the back. The guy in the back stood behind with us. Yeah. To like make sure that we don't get lost, because people get lost, right? In the middle of nowhere. You do see helicopters flying by and they tell you to hide. I don't know if it's part of like, you know, a show or if it really does happen, but I remember hiding a couple times. The guy that stayed behind with us, he's the one that like ended up working for our flooring business years later. Shit. So it's funny, dude, how the world works, right? So we end up doing like I didn't end up using the restroom. I was just nervous. I didn't use the bathroom. We ended up crossing completely. 5:30, 6 p.m. There's a bunch of trucks show up. Like so we're hiding behind like I guess rocks, bushes, and then right from us there's a driveway. There's like a highway. So right, and I'm watching people, and they tell you like, hey, we're gonna go woman first, kids first, in the front, in the back, you go head to toe, guys, in the bed.
You know what, bro? Real quick, I thought I've seen you somewhere. You know those fucking signs of the people running over the freeway? The little kid front? Yeah. I thought I saw
you would remember me because I had long curly hair. You
look familiar, bro.
If you saw that, then that was me.
In that sign, you're dressed in all black.
I'm not wearing Perla yet.
No, you're not wearing, definitely not.
Definitely not.
But that gives me an idea. Next time we go to TJ, bro. Little Perla stickers on the signs.
That's kind of fire, right? So we're watching the trucks show up, arriving like truck after truck, and then people run. Guys go head to toe on the bed. You know, like if in the back of the truck, and kids and us in the front. We drive all night. We drive all night in the truck, in a bunch of pickup trucks. In the middle of the night, again, 4 a.m., we pulled into this gas station. Behind the gas station, dude, I clearly remember this. There was like trash bins. At this point, we're already in America.
Yeah.
From there, we switched to a van. So from the truck, we switched to like van, like a 15, like those passenger vans. Like, you know? And, the guy was driving, told my mom, like, pretend you're my wife. You sit in the front with, the kids, as if we were a family.
Yeah.
So.
Meet the Millers.
Have you seen? That's a fucking great movie. So then we show up to San Diego, at a house that was a huge home, empty house. That's the property that you would get picked up from. And we were the last people to get picked up. We showed up at like 7 a.m. and everybody was leaving. This is the first time I had a Pollo Loco ever. And I was like, wow, it was good. And till this day when I eat it, I still go back. Like my memory goes back there.
Yeah, it's a trigger, man.
Right, it's insane, right? And he bought a Pollo Loco for like 75 people. We're all just there, empty home. Big house, but no furniture, just sitting on the floor waiting. And my dad didn't come up with the money. He couldn't. He didn't have the money to pick us up. So his friend drove with him to San Diego to pick us up like at 11 p.m. And I found out this later that his friend used to be a cop in Peru, and he was very like, I don't know how to put this word, very like, we call it vivo, like very like, he'll like, you can't sleep around him type of shit. Like he's very like, active. Yeah. Mentally, he's like fast. He never paid the guy the entire money. He counted it like real quick, and he was like, he told my dad, you don't have enough money, don't worry about it. Like we'll make it work. And dude, I'm just like, to do that to a guy that does this for a living, like passes like people, it's kind of insane, right? Because these people are probably armed, whatever. And I found out later, like he counted like it was real money, but he counted it so fast in a way where like he didn't notice it was missing a couple hundreds, but we took off. Like after that, like you can't, there's no phone, there's nothing. Like we didn't have anything. So I remember he picked us up with my dad.
So not only did you come here illegally, you didn't even pay the full amount, bro.
My dad didn't pay the full amount. And it was like a solid, like maybe $500.
Ice, we got him. We got him.
It was like $500 off or something.
My kids said they would do whatever it takes to keep that Tesla, bro. So. Ice, we got him.
Now I'm here. So yeah, man. So then that happened. My first meal in America was El Pollo Loco. My second one was McDonald's. My dad had like at the time was Monopoly. And his friend did so much tranza that like he had like a shoebox full of winning tickets. Like we can put together a meal. Oh my god! We can put together a meal with just Monopoly little things. Like just we would eat. I had McDonald's for like.
I believe there's a documentary about McDonald's and the little.
Really?
Yeah. Your dad was involved in that.
That's probably my dad's friend. No, my dad would get the box from his friend, the guy that you know he was like super. He was I don't know. And we lived off McDonald's. Winning tickets for I would say probably like a month, maybe a little over a month. It was great. I was happy, dude. You can't afford McDonald's in Peru, you know? You're crazy. Like, it's like it's a fancy meal, like you know. So, that's the story of me crossing. It technically didn't take that long, but staying in TJ for a month and everything. You know, I remember leaving. I think in April, late March. I leaving Peru, like my flight, and getting to America like in May. So
2 months total, maybe.
Just about a little over like 45 days or so. So when I meet people and I tell them like, oh, you know, well, before this is when I didn't have my legal status. I would tell them like,
oh, you do have legal status.
No, yeah, of course.
Guys, cancel the ice call.
Yeah, of course. So now, like I just told you, I was back in Peru last year with my father.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So,
guys, cancel the Peru. Cancel the ice call.
So I guess no more Tesla. So then, that, was at the time when, you know, I didn't have it and a lot of my friends, I would still travel and stuff in the States, but like, you know, I couldn't travel back before, like, when I couldn't really do anything and it was tough. I mean, we didn't have a license. I couldn't drive. I got my car towed for driving without a license, you know, growing up. It was just a really hard, like transition. I didn't speak English. And we moved to like some apartments where I was bullied a lot growing up because I didn't speak English, you know, like I was, people threw stuff at me. It's just like people made fun of me. People called me names. It was a really hard like transition for me. I was held, I took a test and, to be placed like in a grade and I was placed in 4th grade. Actually, they did me a favor, but then I remember I was in 4th grade. My brother was in 5th grade. And I remember doing like some sort of division and the school was like, where are you from? And I was just like, from Peru. And they're like, because I mean, my division was different. But I was a 7-year-old in 4th grade, I guess. And they took me back to 2nd grade. So I started like cutting and painting. I was just bored as hell. But I learned the English, like the language much faster.
Like I'm smarter than all these fuckers.
And I was like, what am I doing here?
I'm a fucking genius.
My brother went back because our education is pretty advanced. I will say that. Yeah. And my brother went back from 5th to 4th grade. So they kind of put us where we're supposed to be with our age-wise, as opposed to the test that we took. We took a test in the city of Azusa. That's where we moved into first. And then to Wesco. I grew up in Covina and, but now I live in Glendora. So, but it's been, people don't realize when they see me or when they talk to me because when I first of all, when I say I'm Peruvian, a lot of people go, wait, no, you're not. I get that a lot. Yeah. Like, there's no way you're Peruvian.
I thought my friend George was freaking Mexican, but he's from El Salvador. So,
so they're like, I guess people that have seen Peruvian like people on TV, they always say like, well, you're not dark. Peruvians are dark. I'm like,
dude, I say I'm Mexican. Do I look Mexican?
You look white to me.
So it's like colorized and everything, bro.
Yeah, my daughter. I mean, she's gonna be half Peruvian and she has blue eyes. And she's, but she's mixed. But yeah. So. One, they don't believe that I'm Peruvian because of my skin tone, and I am definitely like lighter than most of my family. And then obviously like my English is good. Like it's not, you know, like I don't know if I have an accent. Some people say I have an accent, some people don't. I do say I speak fast.
Yeah.
Like my English, like I speak, because in Spanish we speak super fast.
Dude, that's what they've told me. Like they're like, when you're speaking Spanish, they're like, do you speak it fast? Can you slow down so I can understand you?
Yeah, I've heard people that are like, and again, I can't understand what you're saying.
And again, like when I've only been to TJ twice.
Okay.
And once was when I was a little kid. And when you said earlier that they had your mom in a room, they had my mom in a room once because we went to TJ
in the airport, like in the border.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't remember the story, but I heard the story that when they asked me, is this your mom? That every question they were asking me, I knew nothing. Like, where are you from? ¿De dónde, ma? How old are you? ¿Cuánto tengo, ma? Like, I would look up to my mom and ask her.
I was literally going to ask you how old are you?
I don't know. I don't know how old I was.
You still don't know?
I don't know how old I was then, like, when that happened. But obviously, I'm legally from here. Know. But because when they were asking me these questions, I had, ¿Dónde vives? I didn't know. I didn't know the question. So they thought I was getting,
Yeah, they were like, you were like, muled or whatever.
Yeah.
What called, like.
And so my understanding, they had my mom like in one of those rooms for like 2 hours and shit. Until she was able to prove that I was her. Yeah. Until I was able to prove that I was her kid. And then the next time we went over, that was an adult. I was 18, whatever, 19.
Now you knew all the answers? You still didn't know the answers?
Yeah. Wait, where am I from, dude? Shit. No hablo inglés. No hablo. And, and then so when we went to, because a couple years ago, we went to, Nueva Vallarta.
Okay.
And I was told by people that speak English, that speak Spanish and the culture and everything, like, dude, your Spanish is going to open doors for you. And I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, yeah.
Until I got to you fly from United States to Mexico. We landed in Jalisco.
Okay.
And the immigrants, like, they want to check your passports and everything.
Right.
And so it's our turn to come up to the guy. And then he was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, and I started the conversation by saying, Buenos dias. And he looked at me and was like, cabrón. ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from?
Yeah.
And I pulled up my sleeve and showed my white skin. And I said, pues que de aquí.
Right.
My grandfather is from Jalisco.
Okay.
And from what my understanding.
So you're third generation?
Third, yes.
Right.
And my understanding is my father is from Jalisco. So I'm kind of half, I guess.
But Jalisco people are really light skinned.
Yes.
You look like you'd be from Jalisco.
Exactly. So that's why I said, pues que de aquí.
Yeah. Right.
And then, so we're talking for like maybe a few minutes, 5 minutes, as we're chatting it up. And he's like, your kids speak Spanish? I'm like, no, they understand it, but they don't speak it. My wife speaks Spanish, but it's bien mucho, she can, and see it. As we're talking, bro, he's just stamping away, bro. He's stamping away.
Easy.
Stamping. Easy money, boys.
Easy.
And then, my sister-in-laws are still with them for like at least 15 minutes, bro. Us, in and out. Boom. Boom.
That's the best
boom.
feeling.
And then we get to the one more checkpoint where they check your bags for one more time. And I think my suegra knew, my mother-in-law knew they were going to check our bags because she freaking put cilantro in my fucking bag.
For what?
Because she doesn't want to eat the vegetables from Mexico. And you know how they say don't drink the agriculture. You know how they say don't drink the water? Okay, with her is don't eat the vegetables.
Well, the vegetables are water, so it makes sense.
So she brought her own cilantro. Oh shit, I'm incriminating myself.
Why just cilantro?
I don't know, bro. She loves making some pico de gallo or something. I don't know what the cilantro
but
was
like
for.
Everything else she would get it there, like the tomato.
No, I think that was the only vegetable she needed for whatever we're gonna eat because she planned out the whole week of meals. And I think it was cilantro or lettuce, maybe one or the other, bro. Anyways,
that's funny. We
get to the Inmigrante again to the checkpoint. They put our bags to the machine. Buenos dias.
Cilantro.
Cabrón. Buenos dias. ¿Dónde eres? Where you from? Pues que de aquí. And I show my skin again. And then he was like, what? And again, we're chit-chatting. Everyone's bags are getting checked but ours. So
wait, I think the cilantro went through?
The cilantro went through. So he wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking at us.
You,
as he was talking to us.
Right.
So our bags went through. And then when we went to in 2023, we went to Cancun. So you're not putting shit in my bag. I was gonna say, did he take cilantro there too? Putting shit in my bag. And and so I never understood what I didn't understand what that meant. It was gonna open doors. We're at the resort. And people
makes
are like,
things a lot easier,
dude,
right?
People are like, oh, hey, buenos dias. Oh, they having a conversation. My brother-in-law, who was born in Mexico City.
Doesn't speak English?
Doesn't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Doesn't speak Spanish. And he looks at me, he's like,
wait, why?
I don't know.
He came when he was little.
I guess. And then he looks at me, he's like, where did you learn Spanish? I'm like, bro, I've known you for 10 years. Are you fucking serious? You're barely asking me this right now?
What the?
Yeah, so that's the one thing. That's the one thing I say that my mom did right, was teaching the Spanish. Because she said, she told me, like, she said, English you'll learn at school. Of course. It sounds like you learn English at school.
That's what I picked it up real quick.
Yeah. And she said, English you'll learn at school. And my grandma, till the day she died, She said, my boys don't speak Spanish because of you. I'm like, I tried.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I try to have, my son speaks really good Spanish. He was raised by mainly, I would say, his grandma, his mom's mom, because we were young. I was 19, my first kid, and she was 17.
Right.
And my daughter doesn't at all. And her mother, their family is from like Texas or something like that. And she don't.
I'm so sorry.
Bless you.
That came out of nowhere. You said she's from where?
Her
Texas?
family is from like Texas and stuff. And they don't like they have my daughter's mom's grandma speaks Spanish, but like her mom really doesn't. So it's really hard, man, because like I want to speak to my daughter in Spanish, but it's like. It's just difficult. Like, I think in English. Someone asked me years ago, like one of my family friends, and he actually made a really good point. He actually passed away from COVID, but
that sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately. He was like an uncle to me, and he asked me like, "Hey, do you think in English or Spanish?" And I was like, "That's a great fucking question." I was like, "Do you think in English?" And I'm like, "Bro, that's such a good question."
Like when your conscience is
like we're just like chilling. Like, yeah, I'm just like, how do I think? Like, and I was like, okay, when I get up, I think in English. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I think in it, but if you think in Spanish, it's different.
That's funny.
If you think in Spanish, it's so different. It's like
going forward, I'm gonna think in Spanish. Right?
You know, so it's one of those things. It just made me think. Like, okay. You're right.
That's funny.
He was a really funny guy. He made some great points. Like, like I said, he was like family, but he asked me that many, many years ago, and se me quedó. I was just like, oh shit, I do think in English. And that's because, like my first word was here. I remember, like I learned playing basketball. People would say here, like pass me the ball. So that was like my first word.
My kids don't speak English. They Spanish. And they, like the other day, my son said something in Spanish, and I'm like, dude, you said that without freaking an accent, dude. That came out clean. Fuck yeah.
That's dude. It's
kudos to your teacher. Kudos to your teacher. And
opportunity just like opens.
And then sometimes we'll play like Selena, and they'll
the music.
Yeah, okay. They're cool with it. Not Selena Gomez, Selena Quintanilla, bro. And
Selena Los Dinos.
Yeah, and dude, Homegirl's about to get released this year, man. Apparently, there's a hit on her.
I saw her documentary. You see that?
No.
Oh, they had like a little documentary on her.
And fuck that bitch.
I guess. I mean, she's trying to seem like what she did obviously is not justifiable, but she's trying to not incriminate, but like make Selena look like she had an affair with the doctor in Mexico, all this BS, and I'm like, what? It doesn't relate to like you killing her.
Well, if that's the case, the doctor should have killed her, not you dumb bitch. I don't want. Anyway, I don't want to get there. I'm gonna get pissed.
That's a different subject.
Fuck that lady.
Are you a fan of Selena?
Yeah.
Okay,
dude. I was apparently my mom says I was crying when she died.
Oh wow, you don't remember that either. There's a lot of things you don't remember. You remember your age?
You're a fucked up child.
You don't remember your age?
I don't want to remember it.
You remember where you're from?
No. Okay. I don't remember crying, but she said I was. So.
Wow, interesting. I cried when Michael Jackson died.
I was in the 6th grade when she died.
Okay.
And then I cried when Kobe died.
Oh, me too.
So
yeah.
Anyways,
no, definitely.
Back to the topic. Back to the story here.
Okay.
So obviously you have a great relationship with your parents.
Beautiful relationship. My mom is a very positive, a very optimistic person. I think a lot of what we've accomplished and done as a family, it's because of her words. It's because of who she is. My father has always been hardworking. My relationship with him is mainly work. Like I said, we have a family business. And it's mainly work. But the relationship is great. Like we don't, there's just, I'm really close to my family. Right. I have a younger brother who's in medical school now. So my brother and I live kind of vicariously through him because we couldn't go to school. I have my older brother actually.
There's 3 of you?
There's 3 of us. My older brother, I'm the middle child. All boys, yeah. I'm the middle child.
Oh, middle child syndrome.
Yeah. My older brother.
You don't look like you suffer from it.
My older brother actually.
Next podcast appearance, middle child topic. Got it.
My older brother, like I was saying, he went to he was like graduated like top 10 in our high school.
Oh,
he got into UC Irvine. Unfortunately, he couldn't go to school because of his legal status. My older brother across me. When I saw that, it kind of like discouraged me to even try to go to school. I wasn't gonna get loans, financial aid, none of that at the time. Now you do, but at the time, none of that was available. So I just kind of fucked around in high school. Like I was.
You're like, I'm not gonna get it.
Like out of all three of us, I'm definitely the most wild one, and I'm everyone knows I'm the craziest one. I do like to think I'm like the most.
That's the
one.
effects of being the middle child.
Yes, that's me. So, I remember my brother was very nerdy in high school. My older brother, and his friends would always be like, "Yo, your brother's like nothing like you." Like he's my older brother was dropping me off at like high school parties, and he was a senior and I was a sophomore, or like I was in eighth. I remember I was like young, dude, and I used to have parties, okay, in high school to make money. I've always like worked, like I used to have high school parties to make money. And at 17, 16, I would make like $1,500 a night. I thought I was balling, dude. You know?
What
so like I became like
fuck?
the cool kid. Yeah, people used to pay me. I'm not lying. People used to pay me to have parties and I wouldn't go to the party, but I would be on the flyer. It's as if it was my party. I would get like $120. Dude, I'm not lying. Like this is serious.
Is Irving gonna make an appearance? I don't know.
It was weird, but it was just like because I had good parties,
that
dude.
Fucker's like the Bigfoot, dude. Nobody sees him.
You just hear about him. So like, yeah, I remember, dude. Like I mean, it didn't happen often, but it did happen like 4 or 5 times, and my parents didn't believe me. Like I was like, no, people pay me to like be on the flyer for a party, and I'm not gonna be like. It's if it's like my like high school parties, dude. Like this is 2009. Now that I bring that up, one of my first parties that I had for my 17th birthday was a huge, like, dude, I had like huge parties in high school. And the DJ, okay, my friend, the DJ that DJ'd my high school parties is a big DJ now. His name is Dioro. So, he's huge. Like, he's done Coachella. He travels. Like, he actually invited me backstage. He had an event in LA Coliseum. He has a song with Chris Brown, Elvis Crespo, Los Tucanes de Tijuana. He's a big DJ. Like,
damn.
Yeah, and he used to like DJ my high school parties. He's such he's still the same person. Like I saw him not that long ago. I still talk to his dad a little bit. Same guy, super humble, super cool. Like he's just such a human person. And it's funny because like I remember he invited me to his like last year to his he had a big event at the LA Coliseum. He like hosted the event. He was like the main DJ. And I was able to meet like Los Tucanes de Tijuana's manager. I bought him a beer. He was there with his family. It was really cool to see him do what he does, you know, and like transition from like, dude, I remember you like DJing my high school, like my parties, like,
bro, I met you when you didn't even know how to wipe your ass.
You know what I mean? And then I think I said something to him that to this day, I still think about it all the time that I think came across wrong. And it was weird because like everything, like when I first saw him after so long, he was like, dude, what's up? Give me your number. Let's talk. Whatever. We FaceTime a couple, like my barber, huge fan of him. Yeah. Like, so I think they have like tattoos and shit. Like, that's how big of a fans they are. I FaceTime my barber. He was like, let's FaceTime your barber. Like, you know, like whatever. And then I said something to him that to this day, I still think about that came across wrong, but it was like literally, I was just being honest. Like, so I remember saying like, I was like, dude, remember like when his name used to be DJ Tonic. Remember you were DJ Tonic at the time. And I said, people used to like laugh or like, it was like sarcasm, like, oh, he's playing at a party. Oh, what? Like haters. Yeah. That I think he wasn't aware he had. You follow me? Like, so I met, like, I knew people that would hate on him. And I remember saying that to him. I was like, remember people used to like make fun of you. And he was like, what are you talking about? He was like, people love me. And I was like, oh shit. Like it, it kind of like made our relationship a little different. I feel like, cause we had and I was just like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, but maybe you didn't know that this happened. You know, because I would hear about it because I knew a lot. Like, I was really popular in high school. I knew a lot of people, and literally people would be like, "Oh, Tonic's gonna be there. It's gonna be such a great party." Like, but like sarcastically, like to me, that's making fun of someone. Yeah, I never thought like that because I always believed in him, dude. I used to like help him carry his like equipment to my house. Yeah, from the beginning. So it's funny that you know, that's a whole different topic, but. So, and like I was saying, I couldn't, this goes off from me saying like I was making money in high school when I was young. I didn't go to school because I saw my brother not being able to go to school. My younger brother, Brian, he's 10 years younger than me. He was born here. He was 8, as soon as my parents got here, my mom got pregnant. He was able to, go to UC Irvine, which is where my older brother had gotten into and couldn't go. Gotcha. So you see how cool that is to be able to like, kind of like he's doing what we were not supposed to do. Cause I think whatever we're doing now, we were supposed to also do it and help my parents out with like the business, but we just focus all our stuff, like all our energy into the business. And, my younger brother now is able to he had a much better upbringing. He went to UC Irvine, did the whole, like 4 years of college. Now he's in Oregon, doing 4 more years. He's in medical school now.
Oh, nice.
He's going to do neurology or something like it's pediatric neurology, which is like for kids and stuff. So, we lived through him. I'm like, our hard work or everybody's effort seems to be paying off.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm not complaining because, I mean, the flooring business is good. It's okay.
Yeah.
And my brother's very determined. My older brother is very ambitious. It's funny because like recently, I had a breakup, right, with my daughter's mom. I think I told you about it, right? Yeah. Okay. And one of the things that was said to me in the conversations was, I'm too ambitious. Like that's one of the things that was said to me, is that I'm too ambitious, and it was like if it was a problem, bro. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. Like, I still replay that in my head all the time. Like, how can you be too ambitious? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm ambitious because I want my kids to have a better life, like not have what I had, like not where I come from. But it was like a problem, and I'm like, that's crazy because that's just how my family has always been. Like, be better, do better, feed yourself knowledge, just be a better person. And like, we're hungry, like we're immigrants, you know. So it's like, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to make someone or try to explain to someone, because it's something that you have to live through. It's like having trauma. You can't explain to someone how your trauma feels to you, right? Like, it's your own trauma, and you have to go through it in order to. It's like telling someone, like, how does it feel to be a father? Like, I can't explain it. Like, you have to literally go through that. Same thing for me. It's like my upbringing was difficult or whatever, but because of that, I'm able to want to always be better and do better for my kids. Yeah. And it's like, it's weird to be called like you're too ambitious. That was weird to me.
It's funny because just this morning, my boys were bickering, or last night, I think they were bickering about what show they were going to put on TV, right? What show they were going to share the TV for. And like, oh, well, you said you didn't want to watch this, and I want to watch this, and blah, 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 blah. And the point of that is, because what I didn't have as a kid, what was the first thing you saw when you came into this podcast studio? Was like, dude, what's up with that?
You have like 50 screens in here. You have a bunch of screens.
So really. I told the boys, you guys literally have a TV in your room that you don't use. You know, because I always like, I told my suegra, well, when I first moved here, I'm like, well, I'm going to want a TV here, because they were asking me, because they were rebuilding the back room. And they were asking me, where's your TV going to go? And I'm on this wall, because they wanted to put an outlet up higher, right? On this wall. Okay. And then since we're asking about where TVs are going to go, I'm going to want to plug over here in the bathroom. Like, really? You're going to put a TV in the bathroom? So,
you have a TV in the bathroom? No, I was going to say, that's kind of fire, though.
My future house will. And once this podcast takes up, bro, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Once this episode takes off, for sure.
Exactly. So, that's the point. It's like, if that's the case, I'm too ambitious. Ambitious myself, because I give my boys what I didn't have.
I was going to say, well, you already are doing better than your upbringing.
Exactly.
So that's more than enough for you. But like, then you want more for your kids.
I was recently told that I need to stop. I need to let go of my ego, because
because you do shrooms for that.
Because my mentality is, as the man of the house, it is my job to pay the bills. I kick myself in the. That's my mentality, because of
actually agree with you.
Okay. Because of actually how I grew up, right? So to my mentality is I have to pay the bills. It's my job to keep a roof over my kids. I kick myself in 100%. The ass when my wife has to help me with a bill.
Makes you feel less of a man.
It makes me feel less of a man.
Kills your ego a little bit, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. But I was recently told that I need to let go of my ego. I'm like, that's how I feel.
I don't think that's ego. I mean, that's a great topic. I'm huge.
Next topic, ego.
I'm huge on. I don't know if you ever read the book, The 4 Agreements.
I don't read, bro.
Okay. Well, I read The 4 Agreements twice. It has definitely changed my life to be where I'm at today. Like mentally, emotionally, I guess. To find like emotional stability, emotional maturity. It just talks about the 4 agreements you have with yourself, right? One of them is don't take anything personal. Be impeccable with your words.
You got to read that book then.
Okay. Yeah. If you take, don't make assumptions. Like 100%, every chaos situation in your life has come from making assumptions.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So this book was recommended to me by one of my uncles who practices Buddhism. Great book. There's another one called the Fifth Agreement, which I have in my office. I haven't read it yet, but I'm not ready for that. But talking about ego, I have suppressed my ego a lot. I have tried to not have my ego make my decisions, because ego and pride, bro, like they just kill you. They suffocate you. It doesn't allow you to be happier. It doesn't allow you to do anything. And I have a lot of experience with dealing with people. Like I said, I've co-parent with my 14-year-old son. Now I'm starting to co-parent with my daughter's mom. And a lot of the issues that we've had, I think, came from like being like just ego and pride and things like that. But I've learned, like not to make decisions based on my ego.
I'm going to make you laugh on this one. The last real fight that my wife and I had was because I was losing my shit because we're running late. We're running late.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay. That's something really. I'm going to tell you something that I saw recently. Oh, not recently, but there's this guy who used to be a Buddhist, and he talked about that with his wife. So he said, this is what he said. He realized that everything that he loved about his wife also came with things that he didn't like. For example, he said that he loved that his wife was very spontaneous. Part of being spontaneous is that you're never on time. It's just, it comes with the territory. You can't just pick up what you like from someone and be like, oh, I like this, but I don't want this, right? So it's like everything, that's why there's like, everything comes with good and bad. It's the minute he accepted that, he was like, yo, like I love that my wife is spontaneous. Why am I so upset? Because he had told her like, hey, we got to be on time to this event. Yeah. And it just didn't happen. And it was a huge deal. Like he was pissed. He was upset. This guy's name is Jay Shetty. Really big guy. Like I listened to him a lot. And he talked about how he turned that idea of being into like, instead of being upset, he was like, but this is what I love about her. When I met her, like I love that she was spontaneous, and that just comes with, so maybe there's different ways of approaching. There's different methods. And ever since that, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, because, we can't just pick and choose what we want from someone. It comes with everything. And sometimes somebody that's fun, for example, somebody that's funny, right? From my experience, I'm a really social person. I'm a really funny guy. I like to talk to everybody. I can go out and I make friends right away. That's something that my ex liked about me, but it also was a problem. Yeah. But I can't just turn that off. I'm like, you're telling me that you love that this is who I was, but now it bothers you because, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where like, oh, he's so funny. And then like 2 years later, you're like, everything is funny to you. Yeah. Like at the beginning, I was so funny. Now, like as the relationship progressed, things got like bad. Everything's funny to me. So you see the perception. Like I think life is all about perception. And to go back to like you being upset about not being on time or whatever, or running late. I recently learned that it's best to not worry about the things that don't matter. Like that's not gonna matter later. If it's not gonna matter in 6 months, just fucking let it go.
That's what she told me.
Let it go.
She told me, you do understand that people that stress out about time don't live as long. But doesn't mean we have to be late. I won't stress up on time. If
you gotta laugh more. You gotta laugh more.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
live longer.
Anyways,
I get what you're saying, though. I get it.
Back to your story. Well, it sounds like you adapted good, because it sounds like your high school years were your teen years. Your high school years.
My high school years were amazing. I mean, I had a kid when I was 19. That was like, obviously not the best decision, but it got my ass to work. My dad was like, "Yo, make a decision. You got to work now. Learn the business." Yeah. Did all that, and so we started with like doing flooring. Then, like I said, my older brother is very ambitious. Is a really great example. And he was like, we got to get a demo license. There's money in demo. So we do a lot of demolition. Yeah. Hardcore demo. Like we do Starbucks, Carl's Jr., Taco Bell's. We have we're doing a lot of those. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then we stepped into like doing commercial work for flooring. Started with the residential. And now we had landed a big gig in 2016. Something like that.
You guys have been doing the flooring thing for
forever. A long time. Since my dad used to take me out of school to go do work to pay my phone bill, because I would talk on the phone a lot. I thought I had free minutes and I didn't.
Oh shit!
After 9, I was like, oh, it's free, but it wasn't. So my phone bill was crazy. People don't know about this. Kids don't know about this.
Oh, hell's no.
Everything is like unlimited now.
I know that one. I like to say the story. I know I don't have the best relationship with my mom, but this is the one story that I like to share all the time. She likes to talk, man. She can talk. Obviously, you can see where I get it from. And
I get it from my dad.
So one day I told her, I'm like, hey, she was on the phone. I'm like, hey, yeah, you're kind of wasting my unlimited minutes. and then she calls me back. Oh, sorry. She calls me back like half an hour later.
She's like, wait,
unlimited minutes?
Actually, I've used that term before too, but like to be funny. I was
so
like,
the kids don't understand when I say like when I make the joke of unlimited minutes because they have no idea.
My son has no idea.
Back then, it was after 9 or Verizon or Verizon.
Same carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Sprint at the time. I've had the same number since 12 years old. Since 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I had to pay my phone bill, and so I had to go to work. My dad was like, "You got to go to work." So then I was like, "Okay." So I learned a trade. I did a lot of flooring and so like my physical work, labor, and business started with like myself, my brother, my dad, and this guy that has been with us for almost like 20 years, a little over 20 years, I think 20 years now.
Oh wow!
And he brought on board his whole like most of our workers are family. So now we run a pretty decent crew. There's like between 9 to 12 men.
Okay.
And obviously I don't do any more labor, but I got into the sales. I got into learning about you can't sell something, if you don't know it, so I learned the trade really well, and now we have a store in Monrovia storefront.
You want to give it a shout out? Go for it.
Well, it's not open to the public. It's like per appointment, but if they could find me,
somebody needs a freaking
flooring. So on flooring, it's called AG Flooring. And it's agflooringinc.com, our website, and you'll see...
You know what, bro? I think I recently gave them a bad Yelp review.
I was going to say, we probably have
Just kidding.
No, we've got some good reviews. We focus a little bit more on commercial now, but we still stick to residential because that's where cash flow goes. And like I said, we landed a pretty nice gig in 2016 or 15, which was our first hotel.
Oh,
so
no
that was a big contract.
Damn.
That put the business
on the map.
Yeah, exactly. That put the company where AGF is well known. From that hotel, we hopped into another hotel, to another hotel. So you started seeing a little bit more money, and things started flowing a little bit better.
And then all of a sudden, minutes are unlimited. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then because of the limited minutes, we're able to gain clients and stuff. But so yeah, dude, like I said, we still do homes. Like I just told you about the Altadena house. That was a brand new.
That's crazy.
Brand new built. But yeah, that's demolition, flooring. And then my brother, actually, he's a general now. He's a developer. So he's doing a bunch of stuff. Like we got into, we started doing some investments, like Airbnb and things like that. But,
I'm going to have a soon to be 18-year-old, bro. He might need a job, bro. He's got to pay for his cell phone bill. So on your way to work,
well, he's got a limited minutes.
Pick him up, bro. Now fuck that shit. Pick his ass. Actually, his phone is free.
Okay.
We went to the store. We went to T-Mobile when it was BOGO.
Okay.
Turn on one line.
Yeah.
The line free.
Hey, T-Mobile's great. I have T-Mobile for my crew.
Hashtag not an ad.
Definitely not an ad, but they're really. I mean, they kind of call me a lot.
Yeah.
To try because I have a business account with them.
Yeah.
And they gave me my daughter's iPad for free.
Yeah.
And she has a plan on it. She has LTE on it, so she can watch stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey man, at 18, I tell you, yeah, bro, swing by, pick him up, carpool. He doesn't want to drive. So
actually, some of my guys live around they're around Baldwin Park, Azusa, but
yeah,
if he wants to work, he wants to learn a trade, why not?
So it seems like living in LA just obviously way better than living in. Well, you don't know what it's like living in Peru.
But I was there last year, and I have a cousin of mine. Okay, so I have a lot of people in Peru, my cousins that are very educated.
Yeah.
Okay, big jobs. I'm talking one of my cousins. He's a doctor, and he makes $1,000 a month. That's it. And he's got to literally get home. He works all day, gets home at 9 p.m., takes a course to try to, I guess, make more money. He's doing something else.
Yeah.
He's still going to school. But he's legit, a doctor. He's my age. And I'm we were talking, and they're just, it's just crazy. I'm just you make $1,000 a month. That's not even my car payment. I'm that's wild, But I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how my life would be being out there.
What would have been? Yeah.
Yeah. Food is amazing, but that's about it.
That's all you know.
But no,
wild. It seems like you're living in LA was obviously your life in LA. Besides the being bullied at school for not speaking English, but other than that, it sounds like that's the only trauma you have when it comes to that. But
working with my dad was tough. Being young and just being I had the idea that I know it all type of thing. I had that attitude, and just working with family, it was that. But that's not trauma. I mean,
no.
One time we got pulled over, and my dad he didn't. I remember I think he's dude, it's not that we things were easy either. Yeah. You know, like I've had some crazy struggles. I've seen my dad use the neighbor's freaking water hose to shower because we didn't have water at home.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a struggle. It wasn't easy. Like I seen that, not having like tags in the van, the work van that would work. You know, we got pulled over. My dad didn't have a license. Oh shit! He had to like talk to the sheriff or the cop because he didn't have a license. He told me like, why don't you get a license tomorrow? And I was like, in my head, I was like, well, because I can't get a license. You know, like at the time, where like we had to go like recover the van, the tools. Like it was, we've had some really crazy, you know, things happen, but that all makes you appreciate, you know, all the little things, which I say I practice a lot of gratitude, and I'm thankful with, like you'll never know what I'm dealing with because unless like I sit down and have a conversation, but besides that, like I bring positivity. Like I make my mom tells me like she loves seeing me because I make her laugh all the time. And not to say I'm her favorite child, but maybe, I don't know.
Sounds like it.
No, definitely my younger brother. But,
I mean, she did come back for you. You know
she did. Yeah. She came back for me. She was like, yo, I'm not leaving my kids in TJ with some random people.
Like, deuces. No, she fucking came back.
She came back. She changed her mind. So it was like the light bulb turned on, she said. But yeah, man, like you told me in the past, right? Like you're so like I'm very positive. Whether right now I'm going through some hardcore shit in my life, like some really heavy stuff. But I'm still like things will turn out well. Like that's who I am. Like if I don't have control of it, I just let go and I just have faith. And I do have a lot of faith in God. So I'm not religious, but I have a lot of faith in a God.
Yeah.
So my mom has built that in me. Like I said, she's a very positive person. Like I think that. If you're feeling down, I just give her a phone call and I'm just like, minutes. And I like, dude, I bounce back and my brother does the same thing. He's like, dude, I talk to mom when when I'm dealing with, and it's just like, it's quick, man. Like she's so great and powerful with her words. And I think that's what we need more of nowadays.
The what I told you the other day on the phone was like, the thing is that if you've gone through hell and back, anything that happens after, it's nada. It's another walk in the park. It's another walk in the park.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, something happened. Like I remember, I think I've said it before, but before I moved out here financially, I was struggling, and my grandpa appeared in a dream after he passed away, and he said, "Hey, everything's gonna be all right."
That's beautiful.
Everything's gonna be all right. I told my grandma, she's like, he doesn't visit me.
He doesn't visit me. I was gonna say, he didn't go see her.
Sorry, grandma.
I was like, damn, I
finally
got away.
It's funny because then I said the same thing when she passed away. She visited my wife, and I'm like, cabrona, you don't visit me. Then she did come visit me one day. And yeah, no, he
in a dream.
In a dream,
beautiful.
Yeah, and then he told me everything. He told me everything's gonna be all right. And fast forward a couple years later, he wasn't lying.
Right. And I grew up without grandparents, so I don't know how that feels, but wow.
Yeah. So, like I said again, if you've been through hell and back, honestly, everything else after that, if you feel you've been through hell and back, everything after that is a speed bump, bro. Speed bump.
Speed bumps. So
I would like. I remember one day I was like stressing out. And I'm like, you know what? Why am I stressing out about this? It's no big deal. It'll be taken care of. Like I said, I know I allow my ego to kick myself in the ass when my wife pays the bills, but when I know I can't afford it, I know she's there.
Which is great.
I know she's there.
It's great.
But I mean, my mentality is still like, fuck, why?
No, yeah, definitely.
Why?
Definitely. Why? I mean, your kids are older too, so like the other thing that helps.
I'm telling you, bro, take them to work with you, bro.
No, what I was getting with that is that my father has always said when you have a relationship with someone and you have a kid, right? Yeah. That I know that your situation is a little different. Like my kind of like mine was too at the beginning, right? But like what I was saying was like, for example, I just went through a breakup, and my daughter's mom, right, who I was with for 5 years, she didn't work as soon as the baby was born because my dad always said like, you take care of her, she'll take care of your child, and it's a cycle. Like you want her to be fine because you want her energy to go towards.
My wife had the opportunity to go work for in the corporate office of a very well-known company, and she put that life on hold to be the mother to my kids.
That's beautiful.
And she, for 7 years, she did not work because she raised those kids.
Which is really, those are critical years. People don't understand that. Like, I believe in gender role.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a machista. I believe women have a voice. I believe some sort of like equality in a sense. But like when it comes to gender roles, I've always said like they exist for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, my mom raised me. She didn't work. Not that she did the best job, because I've done some fucked up things, but we all have. We're not perfect. But I do think that there's nobody better than to give your kid a great mother figure or a great mom, security, like confidence. Like, my mom made me believe in myself.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I always have. Same thing with, like, I think my brothers, and she gives us that strength. Nobody could do that. Like you said, like, she raised your kids and she did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, because they're good kids. I met them. Like, you could tell they're good kids, right? Especially nowadays, like, everyone's like on drugs, and it's just like, it's so hard. Everything's so like accessible. So it reminds us difficult.
It reminds me of the podcast episode that I recorded with George. Where it's like TV dads. We don't have TV dads anymore. So, yeah, exactly. So for me, I've always believed like gender roles are important because that makes the home function. And what you're saying about like you struggle with like the idea of her helping you. Yeah, dude, I struggle with that too. When I'm like, don't get me wrong, there's times where things go, they get hard, and I didn't know how to express that to my partner at the time. That created issues because I was like, I have to handle this myself. Like, I'm the type of person who's like, I'm dealing with shit. Like, I have to figure it out and I'll come back to you. Yeah. But some people can't handle that. Like, unfortunately, she couldn't handle that. She was like, she saw it differently. It's like, it's just like, right. I only want, like, I'm selfish. Or I'm just like, no, it's just, I don't want to give you any problems. I'm trying to give you solutions. Like, this is who I am as a man. Like, like, I'm trying to take care of you. And I did that. I took care, it worked out, but to a certain point, and then now I'm here. But, it is what it is. So being in a teen dad, like you were, what, 19? 19, yeah. 19. I mean, what were you thinking? I mean, seriously, like, fuck, I'm 19. I'm about to be a dad. I mean, I love that you're pretty much growing up with your boy. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, you're growing up. We have the same, like, whenever he wants something, I get it just because I wanted to. Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you earlier, like, because you saw my monitors and everything. I'm like, so my son plays on the PlayStation right here. I play on the PC over here. That's so dope. And we'll play Call of Duty together, and he'll come in here and we'll play for hours. There's nothing better than being a best friend to your kid. Yeah. And believe it or not, like, I struggle with that for so long because my son's mom, unfortunately, made me feel bad about it. Like, for many years. She was like, you need to start being a father and stop being a best friend. Well, and I'm just like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I know I'm a great dad. I was like, I've worked hard to give him everything. I've fought for him through the court system, everything. Yeah. Like, I've never not been part of his life. Right. I've always been there. And, I try my hardest to always give my best. And the reason why I say like being a best friend is because I grew up like being afraid a little bit because my dad was, he was a tough guy. Yeah. So I didn't want to like, how do I say this? I didn't want to have the same relationship with my son, where I feel like your kids, instead of saying, what would dad say? They should be saying, let's call dad. Yeah. That's what I want. Like, I want my daughter and my son to be like, let's not, instead of like, a lot of the times you're like, oh, I don't want my dad to find out. Like, he's going to get pissed. I don't want that. I want them to be like, because dad will figure it out. Because I want them to know that a lot of people think being a support system is like, I'm there for you, but then a lot of people are there for you with the intentions of like judging. They start like, you do something, you're like, why the fuck do you do that? What? With my son, like, well, he's a good kid, but like, I know that if anything were to happen, he can count on me, and I know he feels that way. Like, oh, I'm just gonna tell dad because he knows that I'm not gonna judge him. I've been there. I've been young. I've been mistakes. So he knows that he can count on me, and just talk to me as a friend. Like, dude, we'll figure it out. That's I kind of like, I get what your ex was saying, because my wife did remind me multiple times, hey, you're being more of a friend than you are a dad, and it's gonna bite you in the ass one day. Why? She was speaking from experience because of her siblings, her brothers, and the way they host with their dad, with her dad. I see. But you had authority. Yeah. Okay, see, that's when the kid realizes there's authority, it's different. You can still be a father. So when there's some times where like my wife had to check me, hey, your boy's getting a little disrespectful with you, and you're just letting it kind of like go by. I'm the kind of parent, dad, that I can hear the bullshit, and it's like, okay, all right, and it continues, all right, okay, all right. And it continues, and once it finally reaches to the top, give me your fucking phone. That's it. Give me your fucking phone. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, look, guys, I let you guys slide with the bullshit. I'm letting you guys slide.
Right.
Letting you guys slide. But the moment I start to raise my voice, I go from 0 to 60. And I go to the worst punishment ever. It's your phones. So, guys, I had to tell my son recently, the little one, the younger one, hey, dude, I'm your dad, bro. I'm not your homie.
I'm not.
Okay.
My son calls me bro sometimes.
I will freaking know because you start like their little brain rot freaking words and shit. I don't know what that means, bro. So that's being fucking disrespectful. I don't know what that means. If I don't know what that means, man, you're being disrespectful.
Yo, the fucking slangs are crazy.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Well, I just had them kids on here explaining all those fucking words. So
Good.
Go back to listen to that.
I have to listen to that one. Yeah. My son, I know he uses a lot of slangs with his cousins and stuff. But,
yeah.
I haven't had that yet, but he has given me attitude, very slight. But I check him real quick.
Oh, they're teenagers, bro.
Yeah. I'm just like, hey, clean your room, and he's like. And I go back and I'm like, hey, I have to ask you. I don't want to ask you. Like, when you want something, do you like? I get it for you.
Yeah.
I'm asking for you is good grades and clean this damn room. That's it. Those are the only two things I ask for.
This is the part where I get their attention. Guys, go sit down on the like that, like calm. Dad, guys, go sit down on the sofa, and they sit down. Oh shit, that's gonna have the speech.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. You don't need to lose your shit, bro. Like, that's what I've real like. I grew up with my dad fucking being crazy as hell, dude. Like, I saw some crazy shit, and I don't want to repeat that, So,
you don't want to repeat a cycle.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is breaking cycles, is making it a better generational curse.
Yeah,
that we had, and it's like my dad was a great father, but and I don't blame him. I've told my father, I was like, you make the best of your situation. I don't blame you. You come like, dude. My father's from the Amazon. He's from like the jungle of Peru.
Yeah,
so he grew up seeing some crazy stuff. He didn't have the best upbringing, so I don't blame him. He did his best, but like now I have the choice to be better and do as a father.
I honestly still believe in the spanking them, because I haven't spanked my kids in years.
No, yeah,
because the last time I did it, my son got the message. He's like, "Fuck!" And after 13 years old, you don't want to spank your kids anymore.
I was gonna say there's a difference too. People think like there's a difference between spanking
and beating
and releasing your anger on them, right?
Yeah,
because you feel that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because like that happened with me. So now I haven't. I think I spanked my daughter one time or something, and I felt really bad about it because then I always try to explain like, hey, look, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah,
and I always remember to tell her like, hey, look, Daddy loves you, I love you. But you need to really listen, because like sometimes kids don't know, dude. They take everything they take things personal right away. Like, oh, I'm the problem.
Yeah,
and that's how your like emotional maturity is like really low.
The last time I spanked my son, dude, he was like, he told me like when I came home from work, he said, "Dad, that was the best 3-hour nap I've ever had." Because how they say
after you
calentito, yeah, you're gonna sleep nice and warm. And he's like, but I understand when you say it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Because after you spank me, I saw the look on your face.
Yeah.
And I always, like, I spanked them, yeah, but it was always open hand. My mom used to whip me with whatever, bro. Like, chancla, la pinche, the cord to these cables.
The cable from the PlayStation, bro. I remember that.
The iron, dude. Iron. Fuck. Yeah, dude. Those. So I always told myself, I know that I grew up that way, but I wasn't gonna just because I was growing up. No, I have to implement it because it does raise them to be a little more respectful, and it's like
everybody needs like a little bit of authority.
It's sure. It's like that phrase that you hear sometimes. Is like, I got whipped as a child, and now I suffer from respecting others. And these boys, people don't believe that they are, what do you call it? That they don't believe that my wife is their stepmom or bonus mom. Now the word nowadays, they don't believe that.
Is that a word? Oh, wow,
yes, I heard it recently.
Bonus mom.
Love
that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What do you call it? So
it's like a mom plus one.
Exactly. So it's like
it makes a real mom feel like shit though.
No. Well,
I'm saying like in general, like if I were to have a bonus mom for my kids, I'm sure the moms won't they'll probably feel like shit.
Yeah, no, it's honest. I heard.
Is there bonus dad?
Well, yeah. Okay. Bonus mom. There's bonus siblings. There's bonus.
So my son has a bonus dad. Then.
Yeah. So
she's great, by the way. I love her.
Yeah. And what do you call it? So, freaking. People don't believe it. Like sometimes, like, wait, what? You're You're not there. No.
Because they're super close.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I think she's just their mom.
No, she's, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, yeah.
Just
she's,
mom. Yeah.
You know, if the mother of my kids hears this, hey, man, you did it to yourself, woman. Anyways. Oh, she's going to sue me for that shit. That's for sure.
Lay on you made your bed, so lay on it, right?
Thank you. Other than that, so, I mean, we pretty much hit all the bullet points, bro. I don't know what else. A lot today. You know, I don't know what else
I didn't expect this.
I don't know what else you want to share, man. What else do you want to share? Because
I think
we've hit every bullet point. I found the title.
Yeah, I know. I think we've shared everything.
Yeah.
I just want to say what you were talking about, like you, the way you grew up. Sometimes we have like shitty upbringing.
Yeah.
And the nice thing, once again, me being positive, is that at least it teaches you like what not to be.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like great to be able to say like, oh, I went through this, and that, and you didn't repeat the cycle, but like it taught you, like it's like, if I wouldn't have gone through that, where would I be? Or who would I be?
Exactly.
So some people, there's two options. I think you have a choice to say, accept it. Like, this is what I went through. This is how I'm deciding to be now.
Yeah.
And the second option is to be a victim and just victimize yourself of everything.
No, and I think that's why my ego, let's go back to my ego conversation. By the time I was 18, I think we moved like 50 times. For a very long time, I can still tell you where I lived.
So there's no stability.
Yeah, there was, and
that affected you.
I went to almost every elementary school in Oxnard. I went to, back then, both junior high schools that were in Oxnard. I think by the time I hit high school, that's when I put my foot down. That's it. I'm not going to another different school. This is the one. I'm staying here. And like I said, bills weren't paid. I remember showering, like you said, at the beach.
Wow.
I remember.
Well, that's probably why you're trying to use the beach water to kill the fire.
Yeah, man.
It's just water.
It's just water. I remember showering at the beach. I remember eating at the rescue missions, their meals and stuff like that.
That's tough, yo.
And so that made me obviously make sure that my bills get paid.
And your kids are
every 5 months I print out a new Excel sheet with what bill is going to get paid with what check.
Wow.
And I write it down.
So you're very organized because of that.
And it's on the board. It's in the kitchen. We have a board in the kitchen, and it's right there.
I need to work on that for sure.
And pretty much when I get paid, I make sure the bills get paid first. Even if that leaves me $5. I don't care.
Yeah, you have your...
That's enough for a tall Starbucks cup. The car has gas for 2 weeks.
You get 2 cups at 7-Eleven. $5.
It's not the greatest. No, if you heard the podcast...
Starbucks is overrated, though.
If you heard the episode from a couple weeks ago, I said that I was no longer going to accept the coffee from 7-Elevens. I was going to say, hey, when they offer me, you want a goby? I was going to say no more. I got to cut back, bro. Got to cut back. Today I haven't even showered. I went to the gym. I got to cut back. But yeah, no. Are
you a coffee lover?
I don't need it. I don't need it because I get my sleep. So in that case, yes, I am a coffee lover because I only drink it because I like it.
That's what I'm saying. You like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the taste of it.
Okay. I love coffee. So.
And there's the big mistake. I told my wife years ago. Imagine if they open a Starbucks right here at the corner. Dude, they open a Mi Cafecito around the corner.
I saw that.
Dude, that shit is bomb.
Is it?
Hashtag not an ad.
Yeah,
that shit is bomb.
I gotta check it out.
And anyways, so if that's if me, the way that I grew up made my ego the way it is, I'm not going to kick myself in the ass for that. That's who I am.
You have awareness though, which is great. You're aware of it.
Yeah, I have to cover. Well, it was brought up to my attention in a very, very rude way.
Oh, okay.
But I still.
But you're still here, like admitting it.
At the end of the day, man.
Which is great.
At the end of the day, man. My upbringing, the way I was raised, everything made me the way I am today. And because I am the way I am today, and because my ego is what it is, my kids don't go hungry.
I love that.
My kids have not lost their home.
I love that.
They've only lived in under my care. They've only lived under 2 different roofs. And that was when we lived in Oxnard to then here.
Right. And that was your goal because you went through stability, which
exactly.
is you don't want, which is beautiful. So you've already broke that cycle.
So as long as my ego continues being what it is, they're not going to go without.
Correct.
So sorry if I offend somebody with my ego, but it is what it is.
Okay.
It's what it is. So I think we're done there. I do ask my guests that have children.
Okay.
Again, I don't have a reason why I say this is not for kids. Probably because I swear, I count my F-bombs. I think I'm at 30. Because this was a longer episode.
Much longer episode.
And so I do say, like, if your 14-year-old were to listen to this in 10 years, if your 4-year-old were to listen to this in, 15 years, what would you say to them? What message would you have for them? This is your time capsule right here. Because this, as long as Spotify and iHeartRadio and all the YouTube is all around, bro, this audio will always be out there.
Correct. And they'll listen to it.
Beautiful.
What would I say to them? I guess I can only base that answer based on what I've gone through with them now, right? Because it's kind of hard to put myself in the future and say, like, I have to see everything you've done. But I would definitely say to them to believe in yourself. Like, think that's something that am I answering that?
No, yeah, no. I mean, it's what you're telling them.
Yeah, I would definitely tell them.
Based on your life.
I would definitely tell them you must believe in yourself because public perception will bring you down. For sure. All right.
Let me see here. Okay, then let's plug in everything else. Guys, again, and the hotline. Call the hotline, damn it. Call the hotline.
I'm about to call the hotline.
Call the hotline, dude. Leave a question for yourself, bro. Hey, you know that guy you had on the podcast with the hair?
With the hair? What's up with the hair, though?
Hotline, guys, 818-806-8595. Leave a voice message. I guess if you're in the United States, you can hit *67, and I will not see your phone number. And then leave a question for myself. Leave a question for someone else. Shit, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit me up. If you are fact checking the fires, whatever, let me know. You want to fact check something, let me know. Instagram, it's Ride With Me Podcast, and then TikTok, FTA Podcast, YouTube, FTA Podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora. If you're on Spotify that I know of, hit that follow button. Rate the podcast, rate this episode, leave a question, do what you got to do. Again, the sponsor of this podcast is sitting right here with me. It's not fake ad, it's real.
Fake ad.
Go check out his Instagram page at LABRANDPERLA, and then website www.per-la.com. And Irving,
yes,
like I end every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.